Here's where we left you last week. After 16 months full-time on the water, travelling through 7 different countries in the Med, we decided we'd fly back to Australia for a few months to miss a European winter this year. So Escapade was dry docked for the first time since we bought her back in 2021. She was ready for some much-needed maintenance and upgrades before the 2023 season begins. But first, it was time to enjoy the Australian summer. I'm Janae, and this is Jason. We've embarked on the adventure of a lifetime. We're two ocean-loving Aussies travelling the world by sailboat and making movies along the way. Tune in every week for new episodes. Enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe. We spent some much-needed quality time with our friends and family, and our time in Australia was passing quickly. But we really wanted to show you guys what it's like to sail in Australia, in what we'd call a sailor's playground. We know most of you watch our channel because you too are planning to buy a boat, and some of you with no real experience, just like how we started. Rewind back to November 2020. Jason and I had a dream and a goal of buying our own boat, and we wanted a taste of what boat life could be like before taking the plunge to buy our own boat. So we decided to charter a boat in the Whitsundays with a company called Portland Roads, with a bunch of friends for an epic week on the water. And what can I say? We were hooked. Well, we're back for round 2, but bigger and better than ever. We're going to be going sailing on Portland Road's flagship boat, Whitsunday Freedom. And we'll be sailing in the Whitsundays in Queensland, which is part of the Great Barrier Reef. And the Great Barrier Reef is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. And to make it even more epic, we're going to be joined by some of the best sailing YouTube channels for a week of adventures. This was a bit of a spontaneous trip, so it's crazy how everything worked out. We just happened to be in the same place at the same time. It was like it was meant to be. I'm sure there'll be some familiar faces. Let's introduce them. First up, we'll be sailing with Christina and John from Christina's Travels. Christina, an ex-TV journalist, John, a pilot. These guys purchased their first boat back in the height of the pandemic, a 50-foot canoe called Takana. They sailed her up the east coast of Australia, documenting their journey along the way. They've also spent some time sailing in Greece. They've since sold Takana with even more epic travel and sailing plans for the near future. Up next, we have Ryan from Sailing Sunday. Ryan and Brittany have been sailing the world for over 4 years now with their dog Jackson. They've sailed the Med, crossed the Atlantic, and now find themselves in the Caribbean. A large part of their travels include rescuing and rehoming countless street animals, caring for them on their Beneteau Oceanus 46. Unfortunately, Brittany wasn't here to come sailing with us as she holds down the fort back in the Caribbean, but hopefully there will be a next time. And last but not least, we have Slim and So from Sailing Nakama. These guys are doing a lap of Australia on their tiny retro sailboat, with their fur baby Chili in tow. All whilst completing their uni degrees online. So far, they've sailed through croc-infested waters, 12-metre tidal ranges, and have even plugged a hole in their boat with a carrot.
They're not that bad.
You'll see much more of all these legends later, but for this week's episode, we're going to show you what it's like to charter a yacht with Portland Roads. You'll also get a sneaky tour of the boat we'll be staying on for the next week. Here's our boat for the week. Woo! We also have an incredible deal for our viewers and an even better deal for our patrons, so you can see what it's like for yourself. So keep on watching to find out. Then next week, you'll get to see what happens when you throw 4 YouTube channels on a sailboat together. The closest airport to the Whitsunday coast is Proserpine Airport. You can fly here from all major airports plus a few others. We then jumped on a door-to-door airport transfer that took us right to Coral Sea Marina in about half an hour. Here we were met by the team to welcome us aboard and show us around quickly before our briefing the next morning. We then left in a couple of taxis to go and pick up our provisions for the week. With a large group of people, the best thing to do is to create a menu for your week aboard. Buy your groceries online and click and collect from Coles or Woolies. And you can't forget to stop by the Bottle-O to pick up your chosen sundowners for the week.
Oh, on it.
Oh, mate, this is a shot.
Is it? That's
Yeah.
the one. That's
If you want to be fancy, you can have someone cater your menu or provisions for the week for you. You can also pick up ice for the esky and snorkeling gear inside the marina area. Then the next morning, you'll have your briefing. Basically, the team will spend a few hours with everyone to show you how to use the systems on the boat, teach you what you need to know for your week aboard, go through some safety procedures, and take you out of the marina and into the bay to make sure you're feeling comfortable to get going. You'll also stay in contact throughout your time on board to get recommendations on anchorages and routes to sail according to the weather predictions. You'll leave the dock with a full tank of fuel and you'll just refill what you've used when your charter is finished. Alright, let's give you a tour of the beast. Whitsunday Freedom is a Lagoon 450S. She has 4 double cabins, each with their own ensuite and full-size shower. Plenty of storage space for your luggage, however, you won't need much. Trust me, just pack some bikinis and you'll be good to go. The entire boat has zone-controlled ducted air conditioning. Freedom even has a generator and a water maker, which isn't common on charter boats. This means you'll have fresh water and electricity on demand. This will allow you to really go off grid, but at the same time enjoy the luxuries of frequent showers and not needing to worry about power. There's so many places to relax on the boat with indoor and outdoor dining areas, lounge areas at the front and back, and also a sunbed up top. This was definitely one of my favourite places to sit. We even slept up here one night. We also really loved the lounge area at the front where the trampolines are for sunset drinks. For those of you who love cooking and eating just as much as we all do, you'll love the kitchen setup. The galley comes well equipped with all the utensils you would need to cook up a storm.
Look at this.
There's a 3-burner gas stove and oven, a microwave, stovetop and electric kettle, toaster, NutriBullet, soda stream, an ice maker, and even an espresso coffee machine. Plus, you have plenty of space to store your food and drinks with 2 bar-sized fridges, a separate bar-sized freezer, and an esky, or for you non-Aussies, a cooler box. There is also a full-size barbecue which we used several times throughout the trip. There's also a great sound system set up, so it's perfect for any celebrations you may have while on board. And, well, if you don't, we suggest you make one.
birthday, Nellen. So good.
You can also enclose the whole back area if you do happen to get rain, or pull down the mesh side shades to block out the sun when needed. And we can't forget the mode of transport for your snorkeling adventures. An 8-person tender with a 6-horsepower 4-stroke outboard.
Thanks, girls.
And last but not least, Freedom is set up with all-electric Harken winches, B&G electronics, and a comfortable helms area which can be fully enclosed as well. Alright, now let's tell you a little bit more about where we'll be sailing for the week, the Whitsundays and the Great Barrier Reef. So if you haven't heard of it, we can put it on the map for you. As I said earlier, the Great Barrier Reef is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. It spans a staggering 348,000 kilometres. The marine park contains the world's largest coral reef ecosystem and makes up 10% of the world's reefs. It includes some 3,000 coral reefs, 600 continental islands with 74 of those in the Whitsundays region, around 300 coral cays and about 150 inshore mangrove islands. She's also home to more than 600 types of corals, over 100 species of jellyfish, 1,625 types of fish, 133 varieties of sharks and rays, and more than 30 species of whales and dolphins. If you haven't been here or heard of this place, well, now you have, and you need to put it on your bucket list. If you're keen to have your own Whitsundays adventure aboard one of Portland Road's catamarans, we have a special discount code for our viewers. You can use this to book one of their 7 catamarans at any time of year, including peak season, and you'll get 20% off. We also have a special deal for our patrons to thank you for all your support. If you'd like to become a patron and support our creations, plus get this special deal, all the deets are in the description. Once you split the bill between you and your crew and BYO food and drinks, this works out to be cheaper than a resort holiday, and one you certainly won't forget. We can't wait to show you what we get up to with these legends next week. That's where the real fun begins. Unfortunately, we didn't bring our drone back to Australia, so all aerial shots brought to you by Sally Nakama and Christina's Travels. Thanks, guys. Make sure you head over and check out everyone's episodes on their channels of our week aboard. I'll link everyone's channels in the description below. Catch you next week.